Medical myths are not uncommon considering the amount of information we're able to get hold of nowadays. Some of them have even been so widely spread that very few people realize they are false. In this video, I will be uncovering the truths behind myths considering common disorders. These are the disorders I will be introducing: ADHD, dyslexia, and autism. One reason I chose these specific disorders is because I have friends who suffer from them. Another is that these disorders seem to be spoken of a lot more than they have been actually understood. Anyway, I'll start with ADHD. The AD stands for attention deficit, which includes symptoms such as being easily distracted and forgetfulness. The H stands for hyperactivity, which is being unable to sit still or keep quiet. The last D, of course, stands for disorder. Upon hearing the symptoms of ADHD, most people might think that ADHD sufferers are unable to focus. While that is usually the case, when an activity is determined fun or interesting by a person with ADHD, there is a chance that they can fall in a state of concentration so intense that they tune out the environment around them, therefore increasing the efficiency of completing a task. This phenomenon is known as hyperfocus. Unfortunately, hyperfocus does not occur in all individuals with ADHD. The causes of hyperfocus and how it functions are yet to be determined, but there are several theories about it, including one which suggests that people with ADHD might suffer from attention maldistribution rather than a complete lack of it. Another huge misconception is that ADHD manifests the same way in each person. Even some people suffering from ADHD believe this to be true, but of course, this is not the case. For example, studies have suggested that most females show less hyperactivity symptoms compared to males. Another thing to be aware of is that ADHD is a spectrum, and the severity of symptoms can vary between each individual. The lack of understanding of these facts has led to several cases of misdiagnosis. For instance, person A, who suspects they have ADHD, gets told by person B, who is diagnosed with ADHD, that they do not have the same symptoms, therefore discouraging person A from further looking into their situation. So, keep in mind that people with the same disorder may not always have the same symptoms. Next on the list is dyslexia. Dyslexia is a learning disability that affects one's ability to read, write, and process language. It functions differently according to different structures of language, but I will only be focusing on English dyslexia in this video. People with dyslexia are often mistaken as intelligence lacking, since their language skills are usually not as developed as their peers. But the truth is, dyslexia does not affect one's intelligence at all and can manifest in individuals with all levels of IQ. This is one of the myths that affects a large number of dyslexics in school. There have been several cases of dyslexic students not receiving the special education they need due to their teachers being unable to identify them as dyslexic. Even if they were identified, few schools are equipped with staff trained for educating students with dyslexia, which is a problem that will hopefully be improved in the future. Perhaps one of the most widely believed myths is that dyslexia is a visual disorder, and that they see text differently compared to non-dyslexics, either reversing the letters or turning them upside down. Studies have proven that this is untrue and that dyslexics see the same text as non-dyslexics do. In fact, dyslexia is a phonological disorder, meaning that it disables one's ability to associate letters and sounds, which makes language processing much more difficult. Take the word lion, for example. A non-dyslexic person reads this word by breaking it down into letter sounds and combining them together. A person with dyslexia, however, has trouble with combining sounds and simply remembers how to read the word by recognizing its visual features, which can lead to confusion with similar-looking words such as loin. But with the right help and learning strategies, dyslexics can certainly learn how to live with this condition. Last but not least, autism, also referred to as autism spectrum disorder. Common symptoms are difficulty with socializing, not understanding emotions well, and obsessively talking or thinking about a certain topic. As implied by the name, autism is a spectrum, which means symptoms may not manifest the same way in every autistic person. Autism is commonly known as a learning disability. And as mentioned before, it does not manifest the same way in every person, so while it can cause deficits in cognitive abilities for some, it may not be the case for others. Asperger's syndrome is part of the autism spectrum. A diagnosis of Asperger's syndrome is to have average or high intelligence and show normal cognitive and linguistic developments. Therefore, although autism can sometimes be a learning disability, it is best referred to as a social disability. Speaking of social disabilities, they are the main reasons autistic people are often misunderstood as rude or lacking emotion and not caring about others. For example, impulsivity, one of the common symptoms of autism, is often mistaken for being rude. Other symptoms, such as difficulty interpreting expressions or body language, and struggle with theory of mind, which means struggle with putting yourself in another's shoes, may be mistaken for a lack of emotion and sympathy. However, when emotions are communicated directly with an autistic person, they can also be capable of showing understanding and sympathy. With the knowledge and understanding of these disorders, one might find interacting with sufferers much easier, or if they are a sufferer themselves, find power to seek help. And hopefully, with the development of technology, we shall be able to debunk more myths rather than spread more of them. Thanks for watching.